elections, we raised some issues about the consistency of the voter rolls from 2017, 2018, and 2019. And we kind of raised an alarm because we saw that there could have been some issues in the coming election if these issues were not fixed. Even raised issues about next staff, the possibility of next staff workers also being compromised on election day. So NEC officials, Chairman Kokoya to be exact, agreed to, sort of remedy some of these issues that we had. So he allowed us to have voter identification officer observers. He allowed us to have access to the voter roll, send people to the data room to help and clean up the inconsistency in the voter roll. On election day, we saw some other irregularities, VIOs using different voter rolls than we had that were on the wall. Irregularities, they were using devices to allow people to vote, devices to point people to their polling places, devices to deny people from voting also. And then we had, issues where our poll watchers were harassed and arrested at the polling places, leaving us exposed. So when we saw these irregularities, they all pointed at, fraud. When you put them all together, it was almost like a calculated ploy. So we went to file a complaint and prayed for these centers to be quarantined, which were the areas that we had real issues with, but then questioned the integrity of the entire election. And we prayed for a rerun in the entire district, and they did not give us that. But the hearing officers did acknowledge some irregularities, and they called just for 6 precincts out of the 34 precincts to be rerun. So that ruling was given today.
What's the general feeling?
My general feeling is that I'm partially happy, obviously, because I have a partial remedy, but the reality is the whole integrity of these elections are questionable. I can't say that this is a victory for me because I know that there were other areas that these irregularities had an impact on my votes. So it's okay that this happened, but what I really wanted to see was real justice and the people's will really being represented, which would only happen if we could consider the process free, fair, and transparent, which I don't believe this process was. I accept it, with some exception, but the reality is this election is very emotional and it's bringing a lot of violence, I would say also, and the political atmosphere in the district is very charged. So, this is not about me, as I've always said, it's about the district. So if that's what we get, we'll take it, run it out, try to secure ourselves, and whatever happens from there, it happens at this point. But I wouldn't be a real leader if I said I wanted to keep this electoral issue hanging over the people's heads for this period, especially when multiple people have been injured. So the first thing is that we will demand that the head of the data center who is responsible for all of the irregularities and all of the fraud resigns immediately. We can't see him sitting on top of this process and say that we will be engaged in this process. That's impossible. The second thing is we want to highlight these issues that we raised on the voter roll, let them be cleared out. And NEC also needs to make some decisions based on the same allegations that we made on if they want to be transparent. The phone devices that they say that they're using, we need to see it, have access to it, because all of those things are against the Constitution and they know it, we know it. So right now it's just about doing the right thing and let's move on, clean the mess. The 90% of the election foundation is on data. You can't have somebody who is fraudulent running your data center and expect to have credible results. So that's where we're starting from. Something that they will have to correct because we have the correct figures, they have the incorrect figures. And not only is he fraudulent, he's actually incompetent because he can't even match what the information that he has with the information that is on the voter roll that he provided the political party and international observers. It's sad.
So
I think our supporters are very responsible. I'm sure you've seen the amount of violent attacks against us by supporters of our of Abu Kamara. And our people, we've exercised a lot of restraint, and all we want to see is the right thing being done. We want our rights to be protected. We want to be free to move around, free to canvass, free to do what we want to do, which is support me to make sure that I represent them and they get the leadership that they deserve. It's that simple. I just want to say thank you to all of you for your support. I always say that without my supporters, I would not be able to even sit down here today. They have been the backbone of everything that we're doing. Their energy, their strength, emotion, finances, resources that they're putting into this process is something that I'm grateful for, and something that I remember every day. Your support is what's driving us, and I want to thank you for your restraint. And there are a lot of people that have gotten hurt, families that have been hurt by the violence against us. Keep being strong and know that we're fighting for you, and we will not stop fighting until we get results that reflect your will, the people of District 15. I'm thankful to God for where I'm able to be right now. I'm thankful to my supporters. I'm not surprised. I've gotten out there, and I'm just humbled by the level of appreciation, support that I get from the people.